Jan Halper is on again. She did a very in-depth interview with Mr. Rodriguez over here. She has claimed to work for the DoD. In this particular one, she says she's one of 12, and the intelligence, as far as who knows everything, is definitely chopped up. She only knows her part. And she says there are 7 people who know everything, and that the military will eventually step in. Now, all I want to see is what her body looks like as she talks about this. When people tell the truth, they don't have to think about it. They might, try and search for a memory, but they don't have to make it up as they go. So we should not see any of that. We should also hear details that in the bigger picture is inconsequential, but to someone who's very intimate in what they say that they're doing, it means a lot.
My specialty has been in mergers and acquisitions. So it is change, and it's understanding what the mindset is, what the resistance, what the barriers are, what are the obstacles.
Let's dive into that for a second. The mindset
Of the employees. So
at the DoD?
No, just in general. So this is why they asked me. So in general, I am known for zeroing in on the issues and understanding exactly what the employees are thinking and feeling, and being able to coordinate that with management. So I was asked if I'd be part of this task force, and I basically monitor.
As we watch her, she's leaning towards her interviewer. She's giving very good movement in the body. It's not stiff. It's not hiding. It's not coming at you sideways. It's being very forward and open. I was like, oh, okay, so that's what we want when it comes to truth telling. Pretty much all we're looking at now is her just saying, why they would ask her.
And give feedback of what I think is going on with either the awakening or what the obstacles are to people accepting or opening their eyes.
So you have your fingers on the pulse.
So it's a little choppy, but it's good enough that we can see again, she's still in that open mindset. Her job basically is to look around and say, you know what? I don't think they're ready yet. Or you know what? They are ready. Or you know what? This is a problem over here. The mind has to adapt to that first.
Pulse of the awakening process that's happening right now within America and the globe, the entire planet. For what? What's the end goal here? Why would you need to have this expertise? Why would they need you for this? Why would the DoD task force ask you to do this? What is this for?
Well,
And listen, I know, but I have to ask very.
So why they asked her, you see her go up, she's looking to the sky, she's trying to put it together, she's trying to construct it. And it's one of those questions that's going to force the brain to construct. Because, why did somebody ask you to do this job? Kind of things. Like they couldn't find somebody in their own ranks. And so that forces her mind to sit there and go, you know what? Why didn't they? Is there someone better that I could have called on? That kind of thing. And that's normal. It's what we should see. This is what you would want to see in a truth teller.
Amateur elementary questions for.
Not a problem. Okay. Not a problem. I think what it is, well, one thing I say is when you have any kind of security clearance, you exist in silos. So you have this bit, someone else has another bit.
Compartmentalized.
Very compartmentalized. But I think that.
So they have this bit, the bit, and you see the body looking back and forth, and they've separated it, and she flows with it. Again, the openness. And she's separating it not only with just her body, it's her hands, it's everything. Even the neck and head are moving with it.
They are very concerned about what is going on with the public. If they're going to take any action of any direction, they want to have a sense. But more importantly is that it's the the obstacles, and it's the barriers that these people have in their thinking, of why they won't see things, why they reject it. I would say that there's one group that just only knows how to be judgmental. In other words, the biggest form of rejection is ignorance and the reluctance to do any investigation. It's like, doesn't fit in, done. No.
Put their head in the sand, cognitive dissonance, don't want to know anything else.
Right. Yeah. And honestly, I don't know where my information goes on a higher level. I just know what we discuss as the task force and what we're looking for and what we're concerned about.
What are you looking for?
We are looking at getting a sense of why people have bought into Biden and what can be done about educating them. But we don't believe in criticizing, and there's other people that do a lot of monitoring and posting. I do rather little of that. But the concern is, if we take action, what is the response going to be?
What are the repercussions going to be?
Yeah, the blowback.
Which could be civil unrest, civil war. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I think that was an initial concern. I don't think it is anymore.
Right. So is this okay? So you're monitoring.
I'm writing reports. You know, I do all this analysis. You know, I've never trolled on Twitter, but this one guy put a trivia tweet up, and I really liked it, and I participated in it. And the other thing was that it was the first time it had a list of names. And so I said, oh, maybe we're not all shadow banned anymore. This is really great to see that this is being sent to a whole new group of people. Well, they were all liberals, and they went after me. And I had so much fun just going back at them. But eventually I stopped and I realized they don't have a faculty of critical reasoning. In fact, I thought, I've got to go back to my psychological theories. And I went to the simplest one. Eric Berne. We have 3 ego states: parent, adult, and child. They are a parent who can only judge, and they are a child who can only emote. But it's, and then in my research, I discovered that there are all these workshops on adulting, that they're very much aware that there's this hole in people, that they haven't been raised that way.
That's incredible. So so let's get back to this a little bit, because I want to dive into this a little more and then come out of it and then take it from there. Okay.
Okay.
So you're on contract for a citizen task force to monitor
for a government task force.
Government task force. Yeah, that's right. Sorry, my bad. And you're monitoring on the internet, basically. Is this being all done on the internet, or I mean, obviously that's where it would have to be. You're monitoring, like, how do you do that? You go into chat group sites or like chat rooms, or how do you get the feel for what people are thinking, like a group think?
I read an enormous amount of individual posts, and then when I find someone who is like beyond nuts but has followers, then I really delve into that, and I take notes, and then I have to go back and reflect upon it and think, what are they really saying? Are they saying anything? Do they have any idea? And then I get back to, they have no critical reasoning.
So are you working for the Trump task force? Is this like...
No. This is government. I don't do anything with the Trump campaign, or no.
So, but if you're monitoring why people are...
So he is not, he's not a bad interviewer, but in the sense of, wanting to see her origination of her mind, it's kind of bad, because he's asking questions and there's information missed coming from her to explain where these holes fill in. So and because she never said she's working for this particular task force. She talks about it as if she does, but the do you work? Who do you work for question never came out.
Are voting for Biden or backing Biden, are they doing the same for Trump as well? Are they doing it for all the candidates? Are they doing it for everybody?
Yeah. Well, we're not looking at candidates.
So now the face is relaxed, because he asked about, is it just, are you working for Trump? And she's like, oh, no. And then she goes back and opens her body to, oh, it's everybody.
We're really looking at the people and the thinking and the movement
and you see those hands go up and down. It's holding on to, and as the people, and you actually see size change on what she's holding. So I'm going to assume the different candidates that they're looking at, the different crowds that are involved with those people, the different following. You got Trump's following, which would be the bigger crowd, and you've got other crowds that are somewhat big and then smaller and bigger and back and forth
going on, and who's influencing others and not really the influencers, because I don't look at a lot of them. I don't like using this word, but there are psyops, and the psyop people need to have this kind of information so they know what they can do for their job.
So you're looking at all sides of the spectrum here. You're looking at every part of it, right?
Every.
And you said it was for
time on Facebook than I ever have in my life, but I try to go on incognito, and I'm on all the social sites.
How many people are doing this? How many people do you suspect are doing this?
Oh no, there are 12 of us,
and all for the same goal.
Yeah.
And what's the goal?
To give the right information to the PSYOP team.
There are 12 of us, and she actually has a visual memory. There are 12 of us. So there's something. I am not really liking this interview in the sense of meat for body language. It's too, it's like a prepared interview. He knows everything, apparently, that she knows, and she's just confirming what he knows. So he doesn't ask the questions, well, who hired you? Who approached you? Which is what I was really looking for, because it's hard to swallow something these days without some concreteness in it. I will say, for those of you who watch this entire interview, I will put in my 2 cents. The rest of you get it anyways. But how many normies do you see out in the world today? I mean, when you go out shopping and you look around, because they all have the dumb look on them, but have you noticed that the amount is really small?
If you like it, please share and subscribe. Thanks for watching.
If you'd like to learn more about analysing body language, there is a video course available on Mandy's website for Gold subscribers.